I have to pay my cable bill now. It actually fits.
Week was your 5th record-breaking week in a month.
What'd you say?
Last week was your 5th record-breaking week here in a month.
Record-breaking meaning record-breaking
Roses.
at this theater, or
Yes.
record-breaking in general?
At this theater.
Meaning, we broke the record for how many?
8 shows a week, 5 times since June. We
Oh,
broke
that's
it right
good.
after the Tonys, and I broke it the week after, and 5 times since. Last week was like the highest grossing ever.
Wow.
So we're sticking around, that's for sure.
Kinky Boots. You know, it's the role of a lifetime. It's very rare that something like this happens for any kind of artist ever. Lola and Simon in Kinky Boots are one and the same person. Lola is a gender illusionist, I like to call her, and her masculine version of herself is Simon. There truly has to be a balance in sexuality between the masculine and the feminine. How many things do I need to sign by the Gap? And we all need to understand how to embrace both sides of ourselves so that we can understand ourselves better as well as others.
You're the one with the Kinky Boots, right?
I am.
I'm like...
You don't have a hat on.
No, I don't have it, but... It was awesome.
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm honored to meet you first.
Thank you. Are you going to class?
Yeah, I'm busy.
Going to dance class?
Yes.
Who are you taking?
Breeze Musette.
Who?
Breeze Musette.
What style is that?
Dance.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, have a good class.
Thank you so much.
See you later.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Embracing the totality of who you are. Hi. Hello. Is the only thing that you can be. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. This character is on the journey to self-acceptance. She finds a way to enter that journey through being true to herself. Maple bacon and a small coffee. If you're lying to yourself about who you are, that's going to come out in the work. You know, I'm trying to represent for the ladies.
What up,
What's up?
sir?
How are you?
Good.
This is Neil, the most fabulous doorman in the world.
That's what they say.
Door person. Is that what we call you? What do we call you? What's your official title? Sometimes a person's personal truth is somebody else's fear construct. You know, it's easy to be who you are when what you are is what's popular. Finding the courage to stand inside of a truth that's unpopular is hard to do. Fabulous. Okay. Ooh, hello. Oh, God. Hi, guys. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Should go through here. Hey, guys. What's happening?
TV.
It's there? Josh.
Hi, cutie.
We just put a TV in. a lovely television. I spend more time here than I spend at my house. I got myself a TV. You're seeing the first signs. I do think I understand women as much as I understand men. I actually think I understand women better. I was raised by women. You know, there were always very strong women around me. And it's amazing as an actor to be able to express both sides of the coin. Lola was always living inside of me. Being in a woman's high-heeled shoes is very empowering, and it makes me feel more masculine. I don't freak out by being on stage. This is what I do. This is who I am. Being on stage is like breathing. What I do is I do prepare every day. It's been a long time since we've been together. So much has happened, some good and some sad. I think it's more of a frame of mind for those of us who do this professionally. You're doing the same thing every day. However, it is different because your day is different, the moment is different, the audience is different. It's about sort of preparing yourself to walk onto the stage of the day, not the stage of the day that before or the audience 3 days ago that was unbelievable. It's a test in understanding how to be as present and in the moment that you can be. It means the breath that you're taking right now is the only breath that matters. The moment that is right in front of you in this moment is the only one that matters. And so the response that comes with whatever is presented to you in that moment is going to be of the moment. It's very high-minded, it's very esoteric. It's not something that you can really explain until you're actually in the moment. That's what this business is about. It's like anybody can do it once, but now you have to do it 8 times a week. So how do you make that happen? You know, the last scene partner that we get is the audience, so the work does not stop. Well, this is one of my favorites, Ethel Merman. And then, of course, we have Whoopi Goldberg during her one-woman show that she did on HBO that changed my life. Because it was a one-woman show with a black woman. She was black and she had dreadlocks. That's it. That's all I needed. Angela Bassett. She was on HBO and it was a one-person show. I had never seen anything like it before. And she talked about real issues, you know. I love the little girl, the little black girl who wanted to have long, luxurious blonde hair because the equivalent of success was being white. Liked her. Well, I'm African American, gay, and Christian. I think that's enough. When do you see it? Where do you see it? Who do you see talking about that? That has to change. You know, and instead of complaining about it, I'm actually trying to be a part of the solution to what I perceive to be the problem. Those are my mics. Yeah, they're closing, and next Monday is the last night. We all have fears, and if somebody says that they don't have fears, they're a liar. Life is about figuring out how to identify what those fears are and facing them head on so that you can conquer them. Bye. See you later. And move through them.
They're doing an inspection. So.
Yeah, but like there's a 90.
Oh, it's on the leg.
What do we have here? I think this is Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi actually was one of the people who gave me my first opportunities, and that was to play a role she made iconic as Sister Mary Clarence, Dolores Van Cartier in Sister Act the musical. It's kind of cool to see her up here. My mom is a minister. She didn't start out as a minister. She was a blues singer, and she had me when she was 16. And so her thing was that she wanted to make sure that I had opportunities that she didn't have, and so she really pushed me.
Can you let it down just a little bit? Yeah, that's good.
My mom always used to make me sing in church. I used to hate it all the time, especially when I was younger. And she used to tell me, you know, you gotta sing, or God gave you that gift, He's gonna take it away. So from a very young age, I was very much like on the path. She put me on the path. I didn't get to go to theater. We weren't blessed enough to be able to afford to go to New York and see live theater. So what I saw were films. And the arts for me was like a release, escape from the real world and escape from, you know, other things. And that's where I found my passion for acting. And, you know, I knew that I was going to do it from a very young age. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I don't know for how long, but I always pushed myself. No one was going to tell me that I couldn't do it. And I was going to fight, and I was going to work as hard as I possibly could. My audition was very crazy in that I did everything. I allowed myself to kind of, for the first time, not care that there were 40 people in my audition, and to just trust myself and to trust the work. They wanted me to get on a trapeze and go up 17 feet in the air. I hadn't told anyone up until this point that I was afraid of heights. But I didn't let anyone let on to the fact that I was afraid. And I just did it.
Where are you at, Mom?
Boom.
Can you pull it down?
Originally, this character was made iconic by the one and only Ben Vereen. It was done 40 years ago, and up until this point, it's always been thought of as a man's role. My leading player is very androgynous, you know. She's his lover, but she's also his best friend. Pippin, it's about the trials we go on in life. The leading player is right there with him every step of the way, his good and his bad. Getting the Fosse choreography was one of the things that I really wanted to do well. And I didn't want it to look like, oh, she's not really a dancer, but she's doing a really good job of covering. I worked with Chet Walker and Brad Musgrove, and we worked tirelessly on really getting the language and getting the vocabulary, the Fosse vocabulary in my body.
Yeah, keep them in front of you. Yeah, don't ever get your body through your arms so they end here.
That it wasn't just jazz hands, but it was just a little off. Everything was just a little off, and
There you go.
the perfect feet thing, it was turned in so it wasn't pretty, right? The choreography is not necessarily pretty.
And that goes into
And I just worked on it by myself, you know, always in the mirror.
Thank you.
Still to this day, I'm always in the mirror trying to perfect it. I never really thought about it, that Ben Vereen and I have Tonys for the same role, but it's pretty cool. Just saying that is kind of crazy. I live a very boring life. It takes a lot of energy and energy to do what I do on stage at night. Doing 8 shows a week can be very tiring. Being physically fit and being healthy is really important to me because it's very dangerous, our show. You have to be in control and you have to take care of yourself. So for things like that, I don't really go to a lot of outings with friends, which sucks, but I'm having a great time, and it's the sacrifice that I gotta have for right now. So I work out, and then I eat a little bit, and then I chill at home for as long as I can, maybe have a voice lesson on some days, and then I do the show. I usually show up a bit earlier to stretch, warm up, do a voice warm up. So, that's basically what I do. Every day is different. Feel more tired some days. I just like to be up there at full height, sometime mid-height, just to stretch.
Lost stairs.
And usually after that, I go back up, and it's half hour by that point, and then that's when I start my process, my leading player transformation.
Looks like one of these curls is the, there it is. Is it caught?
Join us.
There are no rules for this piece. What attracted me is that I could totally look at this part as a blank canvas and throw all the colors that, maybe I want to throw on there, creating my own character and creating my own journey within the piece, because there's not really a leading player journey that's set up. All the things that I do in the show are things that Diane, our director, and myself, we've come up with, and we've tried all these different things to make the leading player a real person and to make people feel for her in the end. The leading player for me in my real life is my thoughts, that voice in your head. It's that voice in your head that tells you to do certain things. It's that voice in your head that tells you not to do certain things. It's the voice that frightens you. It's the voice that excites you. And for me on my journey throughout life, I've always had this passion to keep going. If I fail, so what? I'm gonna keep going.
This is the Act 1 Places call. Places for the top of Act 1. Places for the top of Act 1. Places, please. Thank you.
You're always nervous a little bit, especially if you're feeling a little bit more tired one day. You're worried about maybe a note won't come out the way you want it to. So those kind of nerves kind of come up right before the show.
Come, join us, leave your fetid flower. Join us, leave your cheeks too sour.
I used to let doubt come in to my mind of maybe I'm not good enough, but I found that, you know what, you got to put all that your fears and all of the frustrations. We're human. We're all going to be scared of things. You know, I'm nervous before I get on stage some nights. I'm nervous whenever I have lying anxiety. But to finally get on stage and like lose a line and be frightened, but then have to work through it, kind of like when you come out on the side of it, it's kind of like, oh, what was I so afraid of? Like the show goes on, it's a live show, things happen. There is always somewhere to go for me. I never feel like, God, I got that. That was like perfect. I'm always trying to be better. And I don't know if I'll ever get to the point of being perfect, but I don't really want to be perfect, but I always want to strive to be better and better. I'm never satisfied. As an artist, to be satisfied with yourself and what you give is not good. Every night on that stage, I am trying to be better than I was last night. When the lights go up, it's time to do it.